Good day, children. I'm Patricia Dominic, your social study teacher. This is your class 8's lesson, third lesson of geography from your book Know Your World. The topic is the atmosphere. It's on page 42. Children, before we get to know about the atmosphere, we must know our planet Earth. Earth is the only planet in the solar system where life exists. It revolves around the sun once every 365.25 days. This is known as one Earth year. It has only one satellite, that is the moon. Its rotation around its axis forms day and night with the help of sunlight. Now children, we have to know about the atmosphere, what atmosphere is. The atmosphere is the layer of gases that surrounds the Earth's surface. It is just like wrapping paper around a precious gift or parcel, because it protects the Earth from excessive radiation, the harmful effect of sun's strong rays, falling meteors, and debris from outer space. So, this atmosphere protects the Earth. It is packed with gases that are essential for life on Earth. Children, on life without atmosphere, we cannot grow any crop, or we cannot breathe even. We cannot breathe in the atmosphere because of the gases. It is possible that we can breathe and live. The atmosphere is also the Earth's source of fresh water. Different processes in the atmosphere generate the weather around the globe. Now we must know what is atmosphere composed of. The composition of atmosphere is with gases, water vapors, and heat. The atmosphere is composed of nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, and traces of carbon dioxide, argon, and other gases. Though these trace gases make up hardly 1% of the atmosphere, they contribute to atmospheric processes which are very important for life on Earth. Of course, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and ozone are especially significant. Water vapor is unevenly distributed over the globe, almost non-existent over the deserts. As we all know that deserts are barren area where rarely water falls or rain falls, and abundant over oceans. In the atmosphere, water vapor is found in all its states: solid, liquid, and gas. It absorbs the heat reflected from the Earth, which affects the weather in the form of clouds. Water vapors also stops some radiation from reaching the Earth. Now we'll see what is atmosphere consist of. It consists of 5 different layers, which are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Troposphere is the first of the layer and is closest to the Earth's surface. It is from the ground to 12 kilometers in altitude. Then stratosphere from 12 to 50 kilometers. Then above stratosphere the layer is named mesosphere, and it is from 50 to 80 kilometers above. And then comes the thermosphere from 80 to 700 kilometers. And then comes the last one, exosphere, 700 to 1000 kilometers, and it's faded away in the space. Now let's see, the atmosphere consists of, over here, 4 different layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere and thermosphere. The troposphere is the first of its layer and is closest to the Earth's surface. Most of the weather changes take place within the troposphere. As you can see here, the clouds over here. This is the Mount Everest, which is the highest mountain on the land area. The troposphere, the clouds are formed and found in the troposphere, and aeroplanes fly in this zone. As you travel higher in the troposphere, you experience a drop in air pressure and temperature. If you are traveling in the aeroplane, as you meet the altitude or fly high, you will feel that you will feel cold, okay, because the temperature drops in the height. Then comes the next layer, which is stratosphere. The stratosphere is directly above the troposphere and is about 35 kilometers thick. This is the only layer in which the temperature rises as you go higher. If you go higher here, the temperature will rise. Okay? This is because the thin ozone layer present in the stratosphere. Over here, a thin ozone layer is present which protects us from the heat of the sun, because it collects the heat over here in this zone. It is called ozone layer. In the stratosphere, ozone layer, it is the thin layer which is present in the stratosphere, absorb the sun's harmful rays, which raises the temperature around it. So it collects the heat in this layer and protects us from the strong radioactive rays of sun. Then comes the third layer, which is called mesosphere. Then again mesosphere becomes cold. Mesosphere is a cold layer above the stratosphere. It is about 50 to 80 kilometers above the Earth's surface and gets colder as you move upward. Most meteors burn up in this layer as they enter the Earth's atmosphere. Okay? Over here, when the meteors enters into this layer, they burned up. The mesosphere is unique, a cold layer sandwiched between two hot layers, thermosphere and this stratosphere, which is warm. Then come the thermosphere. Thermosphere is the hottest of the layers. It is the most hottest layer of the atmosphere. Extraordinary amount of sunlight reach this layer, which is about 80 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Beyond this layer is outer, and that is also called exosphere, and it is then space begins. Exosphere is the layer which faded away into the space. Now, what is atmospheric temperature and atmospheric pressure? Children, atmospheric temperature refers to the measurement of temperature at different layers of the atmosphere. That is called atmospheric temperature. And then the weight of air molecules pressing on the Earth's surface is called atmospheric pressure. Now, all these effects make or raises different issues in the environment. And when human beings burn oil as fuel in industries and in vehicles, a lot of carbon dioxide is produced and released into the air. Industrialization over the past 2 centuries has increased oil use, and hence the rate of carbon dioxide emission. Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere prevents the heat from the sun escaping back into space. Rising amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere means more heat is trapped on Earth and the average temperature of the planet increases. This affects the greenhouse effect, and global warming issues are raised in our planet Earth. Now let's see what is greenhouse. A greenhouse is a building with glass wall and roof where plants are grown under controlled condition. The sunlight enters through the glass and warms the greenhouse. The glass traps the warmth inside and does not let it return to the air outside. Hence, the temperature inside the greenhouse remains high even after the sunlight is gone and helps the plants growing. A similar thing happens on Earth. The sunlight warms the Earth during the day. Much of this warmth escapes back into space. But the greenhouse gases work like the roof of a greenhouse. They trap some of the warmth and prevent it from leaving the Earth. As a result, the temperature of the Earth rises and remains comfortable around the globe even at night. Now let's see what are the impacts of greenhouse effect. This is normal process, but development in the last few centuries have intensified this process. The amount of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has risen, and as a result more heat is trapped on Earth, and temperature have increased all around the globe. This is called global warming. Water vapors in the atmosphere also works as a greenhouse gas. Now let's see what happens when the temperature rises on the planet Earth. When the average temperature of the planet rises, then ice melts, the Greenland ice sheets are melting, the Arctic ice cap is shrinking, and glaciers are disappearing. Then if all the ice melts, obviously sea levels will rise and drown many low-lying coastal areas around the world. Then extreme weather happens around the globe. This is what's happening around the globe nowadays. Then ocean temperature rises, which affect marine life. Marine life means the fish and other species in the sea affected by this ocean temperature. Then what happened? Ocean acidification takes place, which will destroy marine life. See, what is ozone layer? As I told you before, the ozone layer is very crucial. It is a gas that occurs naturally in the stratosphere and troposphere layer in between and filters the ultraviolet rays. These are ultraviolet rays which are falling on the earth. They filters the ultraviolet rays, this ozone layer, it filters it. These rays are harmful for agriculture and marine life and cause skin cancer and eye problems in human. See children, these ultraviolet rays are very harmful for marine life, for agriculture and even for human beings. And ozone layer is very important that it protects us from this ultraviolet rays. Now what is the importance of ozone layer? The ozone layer is very important. It is crucial for life on earth. The ozone layer is thinning and developing holes due to a number of factors. As I told you that it filters the ultraviolet radiation from the sun. It is a gas occurs naturally in the stratosphere, but it is thinning and developing holes because of the human activities which take place on the earth. One big factor is the chemical reaction between some gases and man-made chemical compounds that we use in modern life. The perfumes we use and different chemicals which are released because of the industrial development. Worldwide efforts are in progress to end the use of these chemical compounds that harm the ozone layer. This is the big hole of ozone layer. It's the picture which is taken from satellite. Now let's see what are the atmospheric factors that influence climate. Children, we experience different weathers in different climatic zone, daily basis, or sometimes we know that how the Earth's different regions are divided into different climatic regions. Some natural factors in the atmosphere regulate the climate on Earth. The movement of air through Earth's atmosphere is called wind, and the main cause of Earth's wind is uneven heating by the sun. This uneven heating causes changes of atmospheric pressure, and winds blow from regions with high pressure to those with low pressure. Children, uneven heating of the Earth's surface create convection in air currents. The air near the surface of the Earth heats up by absorbing heat from land or water. Warm air is lighter, so it rises and leaving behind a low pressure area. This means there is a chance of rainfall as the warm air meets clouds, causing them to burst. Now you can see pressure and circulation. Land heats up faster in the day and attracts sea breeze. Sea breeze, the wind which blow from the sea to the land area. And in the night time, land cools down in the night and low pressure shifts to the water, causing the land breeze. Convection current. Convection currents are hot and cold currents that blow continuously and create energy. If these currents are in water, they cause waves in the water, and on land they create breezes. Humidity and precipitation. Children, you must have experienced nowadays how the day or the weather becomes so humid then after the rain falls. Humidity is the amount of moisture or water vapors in the atmosphere, and precipitation refers to a condition in which there is too much water in the atmosphere and then it causes rainfall as a cooling effect, and then the weather becomes cool. So this is all about the atmosphere, what happened in the atmosphere, how the wind blows, how the humidity formed in the air, and then precipitation and the rain falls. This is your homework. You will write down the composition of the atmosphere, then you will name the layers of the atmosphere, then you will write what is greenhouse, then what you will write about what is the greenhouse and how it is affecting the environment on earth and what factors are responsible. What is the importance of the ozone layer? What are convection current and effect do they have on land? Answers are in the video as well in your book. You will find all the answers in your book. Children, you will do all the work in your social studies copy and marks will be given on the work done in your copy. So, we will meet in the next lesson. Stay home, stay safe.